Hey everybody, welcome back to Closing Conversations. I'm your host, Max Notis. A year ago, I started Closing Conversations while I was starting and building my company Commission. And honestly, when I started it, there was no grand master plan. I just knew that I liked having these conversations, and I kept feeling like more people should hear them. I had run a podcast before at an HR tech company, and somehow we got like 200, 400 listeners a week, which I still consider a major achievement, considering, there's really nothing more boring in the world than human resources technology. But what I loved about that podcast, and what I love even more about this one, is really the same thing. It's the conversation, it's the camaraderie, and it's hearing how smart people really think when the pressure is really real. And one of the things I've always loved about sales is how quickly salespeople click with each other. You meet another salesperson at a wedding, at a dinner, wherever, and 5 minutes later, you're talking like old friends because there's a shared pressure in this job that other people just don't really understand. There's a stress, there's an uncertainty, there's a weight of having to make things happen. And if you know, you know. And then when I started Commission, I found the same thing with founders, where even people who, on paper felt like they should have been competitors, they were usually incredibly willing to help. They wanted to share what they'd learned. They wanted to be useful. And sometimes they even just understood the burden of building something and carrying it every day. And that's really why I started Closing Conversations. I kept meeting people while building Commission and thinking, wow, somebody else would have really benefited from hearing that conversation. Or, wow, this person just really put something into words better than I've heard it ever said before. Or, I know 5 sellers, founders, or leaders who would get a ton out of this exact discussion. So I figured, let's record them. And now 1 year later, here we are. And at this point, I can't really say that we're starting the podcast anymore. We started it. It's real. It's legit. And I'm really proud of that. Over the past year, I've been able to talk to founders who are building companies, sellers who are in the trenches, managers who are trying to hold their ship together, leaders who are growing teams, people in the venture capital and private equity worlds, talking about what they actually look for when they're looking to work with companies. And the more conversations that I've had, the more obvious something has really become, which is that sales, leadership, and investment, they're all tied together. There's a direct line, a direct symbiosis between how people sell, how people lead, how companies grow, and how those companies are valued. When one of them is off, the others feel it. And when they're really aligned, special things happen. So to everybody who's come on the show, thank you. You've helped me learn a ton. You've helped our audience learn a ton. And I hope that you've gotten something meaningful out of being a part of it too. And to everybody who's listened, to everyone who's shared an episode, sent me a note, supported the show, or told somebody else about it, thank you. It's pretty amazing to look up and realize how this thing now has thousands of listeners across nearly every continent from all sorts of different backgrounds. And that part is certainly not lost on me. I'm incredibly grateful for it. And year 1 has been a lot of fun. It's been eye-opening. It's been energizing. And it's made me even more excited for what's ahead. So as we head into year 2, I'd love to hear from you. If there's more that you want to hear about, let me know. If there are guests that you think that should come on, let me know. And if there's something that you want us to do more of, just say the word. But for now, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to the guests. Thank you to the listeners. Thank you to everybody who's helped make this thing real. So cheers to year 1, and let's make year 2 even better. Rock on. Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, you can always catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for more episodes of Closing Conversations.